Hi everyone, welcome to Brain Aura and thank you for joining us today. We are very excited to present the second leg of the 5S methodology webinar series. Dr. Venkatesh will present you this webinar, taking up where he left off yesterday. Thank you for joining us, sir. It's fantastic having you here. So we can start whenever you're ready, sir. I think we can
Yeah,
give 1 more minute if you would like, or we can
yeah,
just go ahead and start. Yeah.
yeah. Maybe we'll wait for 1 more minute and then we will start.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we will start now. Hi everybody. Uh, So at the end of the session, we will have a Q&A. So I suggest you can type in your questions in the chat window, so we can take it up if there are any questions. Okay. So this is the outline of this session. This session is exclusively on the sort step of the 5S methodology. So we will start with a recap of what 5S is, which was discussed in the last session, and then we will move on and discuss about sort step, and finally we will discuss the tools and techniques. So some of them may look like it is oriented towards the factory or an manufacturing kind of an setup, but this is only for presentation and visualization purpose. But it's useful for any domain across the board. Even if we can use this for our mind space as well. And another thing is, you have to remember is, see, whatever we discuss, this is going to be very generic only, and we have to see how best we can use it for our situation. So that's very important thing to remember. Okay. So with this, we can start off. Can you please go to the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So the 5S, so these are the 5S. So it's a cyclic process, and after each cycle, it will take our organization or entity or whatever we are working on to the next level. So that's what it does. So what are the 5S? The one on the left is it's Japanese. I won't. I'm not good at it, so I won't risk trying. So the first S is sort. So the order is very important. So sort is the first step of the 5S methodology. We will start with sorting things, things, items. Again, I keep reiterating. I wish to read things, objects does not mean only the physical. Okay, even our process, methodology, everything it refers to. Okay. Then the second step is set in order. So once we complete the sort step, we have to set things in order. So that's what the second uh, yes means. So in this session, we will discuss sort step, and then the next session we will take it up set in order step. Okay. Then the third one is shine. Shine means you have to keep it in good working condition or clean and tidy. That's what it means. And the standardize is basically you have to standardize the protocol for the three preceding steps, and also you know for the entire process or the entire organization, things how you are going to do. So this standardization can be an internal standards or internal spec, or it can be an external standard or external spec. So it doesn't matter, it depends on your work, nature of work, and domain of activity. Okay. And the last step in the 5S is sustain. So sustain is basically you have to keep uh, doing the same things to sustain all the workflow. Okay. And in the next step, you start again with sort. So this is the 5S methodology. And the key thing you have to remember is two things. One is this is a cyclic thing, You have to start with sort and end with sustain, and again you start with sort. Okay. So next slide, please. Yeah. So about sort. So this is the first step as we discussed, and it is the most critical step. This will set the tone for the remainder of that 5 years implementation methodology. So we have to spend as much time as possible practically to sort out all the things, objects, items, or whatever we do meticulously. So this is very, very important step and the first step. Okay. And what is the main, purpose of this step is to eliminate what is not needed. That's the purpose of this step. So the purpose is to eliminate things which is not needed. It could be tools, method, materials, resource, process, whatnot. So whatever is not needed to be eliminated. So that is the main purpose of this step. And of course, keeping what is absolutely needed. So it has a twin purpose, eliminating what is not needed and keeping what is needed. And the what refers to anything and everything in an organization or a setup. That's what it is. Okay. And what does it do? It creates a space free of clutter. So I have put space and clutter within quotes to highlight the often repeated things which I have been saying is the space does not mean just the physical space. It could be even our mental space. So that's why it has put in quotes. Of course, the clutter does not mean physical clutter as it implies both physical and non-physical. For example, we may be having some process or methods which we may be following in our organization or setup due to legacy. When we do this sort step, we have to really question whether this particular process or a step is really needed. We may be doing it for a long time, but when you do this sort step, you have to really question that as well. Just because we have been doing something for a long time doesn't mean that we have to keep on doing the same thing if it doesn't serve any purpose or add value to our workflow. Okay. And like I said earlier, this lays the groundwork for the 5 years methodology. And the correct sorting ensures successful implementation of 5 years. So this cannot be overemphasized. This is the most critical step as we discussed earlier. Okay. And a thumb rule or a mantra which you can use is if you don't use it on a regular basis, throw it out. So remember this mantra. So this is the in short about the sort step. Okay. Next slide, please. So when we do sort our objects or items or whatever, so basically we have three options. Sorry about the some formatting issues in the slide. So we have three options. One is either we could retain it or we could purge it, dispose it, or we are not sure. See, if it is a one man or a one person organization, the decision can be easily made by that person because there is no other stakeholder. It is a unitary kind of an organization or a situation where he or she could make the decision and get over this step. But more often than not, we are working as a team, multiple teams, all those things. So we may not be really sure sometimes whether a particular tool or a paperwork or a process or material or whatever, whether it is really needed elsewhere or maybe it's needed for some other purpose which we may not be aware. So this not sure is also one of the options we have to keep in mind. So basically when we sort, we have to make a decision. One of the three decisions we have to make. So these are the options we got. So we either we retain it or purge it or we are not sure about it. Okay. So this is the option. So yes, I think there is a question. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is a very relevant question, so we would take this up now. And so basically, if you look at the question is how is sort related to minimalism. So what is minimalism? Minimalism is basically it's a way of thinking or a philosophy where we want to achieve maximum output with minimum input in terms of a process, thought process. So that's what minimalism is. So the minimalism does not mean only minimalistic uh, material, but it also involves process, thought process, everything, methods. You have to take our minimal time also. Time is a very important parameter in the whole equation. So when we sort things, as we discussed, we are going to eliminate things which are not needed. So we will basically, minimize things which are absolutely necessary for getting the work done or to complete the workflow or project or whatever we are doing. If you are manufacturing something, so what is the minimum amount of time, minimum amount of material, resources, tools you require to manufacture a particular product. Or if you are coding a application or writing a software, what is the minimum number of steps or lines in the code you require, or the minimum number of functions you can invoke to get the required output. In fact, not just the sort methodology. The entire purpose of the 5S is to drive towards minimalism. It's towards lean, manufacturing methodology. That's where it originally started as well. So when we minimize both material time and the process and everything. I hope this answered the question. If not, we would take it up at the end of the session. Okay. So now coming back to the options. So as we discussed, we have three options when we sort an object, whether we retain it or purge it or not sure. Okay. Next slide. So next we will discuss some tools or methods and keys, how to decide on what basis, you make a decision. So these seven uh, keys to that question is very, very important. So this is how the answers to these questions will determine which of the options to take for a particular object or an item. Okay. The first question we ask is, what is the purpose of the item? What is the purpose of this particular tool? What is the purpose of this material, or what is the purpose of this process? What does it designed or supposed to accomplish? That's the question you ask. And the second question is, when was it used last? It's very important, when was it used last? Because some items may be used for a particular situation long back, and that gives an idea of the usefulness for the present situation. So we have to ask these questions. And as discussed earlier, we have to remember that we have to apply this methodology for your given context. So the answer and the actual implementation depends on your context. If time permits, we can take some live examples from the audience. So that's the thing. And next is, what is the usage frequencies? Because it's not only when we use, how often we use also determines where to put the particular item or the object. If something is used once in a year or once in 6 months, we will put it in certain places. If something is used on a daily basis, we have to consider putting it in closer to the work area. Okay. So those aspects we would see a little bit in the next session, which deals with setting it in order. After sorting, we have to put it in order. We will discuss those things. But this will help us in ordering step as well. The next question you have to ask is, how much of that material or tool or process is being used, is needed, the volume, the quantity. And more importantly, who uses it? this is used by whom or which process. It doesn't mean only the person, even the process. Sometimes what happens is, things move, but the tools move, everything moves for particular, solution or a challenge or a problem troubleshooting, and it may stay in that new location, so that will add to the clutter. So it may be regularly used by somebody else or some other process, but for a given situation, we could have moved it. So this question will answer that situation. Okay. Then another important thing is, are there any compliance requirement? See, for example, let us take a manufacturing situation with hazardous chemical. So there could be some tools, some boards, some materials which should be used in place because of compliance regulation. It could come from the government, or it could come from standards. There are like standards like OSHA standards, or it could come from if you talk about factories in India and industries, there are regulations set forth by the Factories Act, or mine. If it is a mine, there are a lot of regulations you have to follow, whether a particular item comes from that requirement. So that question you have to take into account. And the last question is, does it really belong here? Wherever your sphere of activity where you're sorting, whether this particular item belongs here. So you see that all the some of the questions are interrelated, so they are interdependent also, and these 7 questions will give you a clear idea of about the usefulness, about the usage, about the frequency, the mandatory requirement of a particular object in your workplace. So answering these questions will be the key to finding out which of the 3 options you have to take for a particular object. So whether to retain it or throw it out. For example, if the answer is no for all these questions, then the decision is easy. You don't need it. You can purge it. Okay. If the answer is yes for some and no for some other questions, then you are not sure, so you keep it in a not sure category. And if the answer is clear yes for most of the questions, and then you retain the particular object. So as simple as that. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is a tool. It's the famous or infamous red tag, which is used in the sorting step. So you could use your own, or you can buy a standard template. So a couple of examples of standard templates are given. So once you sort and make a decision, so you bring in these red tags. If they are big items, then each item or an tool or material, you attach this tag to them. Or if it is a collection of small items, then you make one red tag for all the items. Okay. And the one which is shown on the left, the holding area, is once you sort, so you take everything and put it in that area for both the purge and not sure item, segregating them. So that will give you a good idea of what to be done with those items, so that we don't keep on doing this sort step over and over again. Another thing which would help is, this step is critical, because if it is a larger organization with multiple teams or stakeholders, we may not have a clear answer to those questions. So if in doubt, just keep it, and in that area you can monitor and people can come and watch, and if it is really if there is no traction for a few days or something, then you have a pretty good idea that these things needs to be taken to the next step, and either purge them or transfer to the team which may be required. Okay. So if you look at this red tag, it has a lot of things. We are not going, it's a self-explanatory thing, and we are not going to spend a lot of time on it. This is one tool. Basically, it will identify the your material and what you are going to do with it. That's what the purpose of this is. If it is a small organization, a startup, or a niche organization, I would suggest to use your own methodology. If it is a standard manufacturing or industry, then you may have a lot of items to worry about. So you can use a standard template. But nevertheless, this is a very important step. This will give a clear idea for continual implementation of the SORT program and the setting order. And another thing, after you tagging, what you have to do is to have a red tag register. This is very critical, so that the items don't get lost, or it just doesn't move. So our register, the register could be as simple as few columns where you put the date, item, and you can refer to the red tag area or red tag number, or those things, and what the decision has been made for each of those items. That red tag log is very important, and that log would be a running register. It won't be a static one, because as and when you do things, you keep making a log of all the items. Okay, next slide please. Yeah, so what we have done is we have made decision. If it is a retained one, then we know what to do, retain it, and if we are not sure, then we keep it, and we will make a decision either as individual or collectively in organization. Okay, and if we decide that we are going to purge certain items, so the key step, the key things, considerations you have to do when you are going to purge is what we are going to discuss. This is very important, because
Sir, hi. The audio isn't coming through. Sorry to interrupt.
I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so this is the purge step of sort. That's what we are discussing. So this is a very important thing, and we have to consider few important considerations. So in the purge option, so we can do. See, there are 6 things, but this is not restricted. There could be some other things you could do depending on your situation. But these are the most common six things we could do when we have decided to purge something. So it could be moved to some other department who may be requiring it. That's one option. Some other team, some department, or we could sell it, uh, or donate it. We could salvage some parts of it, So that's another possibility, or recycle them, recycle. And finally, if nothing works, then we just throw it out in the dumpster, dispose it. So we have to give a clear thought to what we are going to do once we decided that these items which are sorted needs to be purged out of the system. So these things we have to take note of it. And the most important aspect of this purge thing is make sure to intimate the finance accounts team. This is very important, because the items which we are, if it is material item, then it would be an asset. If it is a tool, or a, or a material, or some stock or inventory, then it would be an asset to the organization. It would have a financial value to it. So we have to make sure that we intimate the finance department, so they could make appropriate note in the finance register. So, for example, if you are moving to some other department, a particular tool, then the finance department can take note of it and move the asset to that receiving department. Or if you have decided to dispose it off, then the finance department will write it off, remove it from the asset registry, because everything comes with with the money tagged to that item. So this is the purge step. So most of it is basically, it evolves from the common sense perspective, but you have to apply due diligence, to make this 5 years work, or particularly this sort things. It may look very straightforward, but when there are complex or complicated processes involved, then this sorting itself is a very major activity in an organization, because we will never know whether we will be sure whether something would be needed now or after, let's say, 6 months. So you may have to do some real due diligence, and complete this sort process. Okay. Next step. Next slide, please. And finally, what is the outcome? So of this sort, like I said, this is the most critical step of the 5 years. This will reduce workflow impediments. So when you have a very well sorted workplace or a process or methods, the friction or the resistance or impediments for the workflow will be lowered considerably. So that is a major outcome. And of course, it would, needless to say, the time will be, time efficiency will be increased as well. And this is related to the question of minimalism we discussed. It will remove unnecessary expensive stocks inventory, so which is not absolutely needed for your workplace, for that particular team or your particular process. Then you just remove it. Okay. That's a major outcome for this sort step. And like we said earlier, it minimizes time to fetch things. So if things are sorted and they are well defined in place, then we take less time to fetch an item or an object. And very importantly, this improves safety. So the safety, this is a very critical key things, and the sorting of items will improve the safety in the workplace. Okay. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, I think this is the end. In the next session, we will discuss the set in order, the next step of the 5S methodology. Okay. So with this, this is the end for this session. So if you have any questions, we will discuss it maybe for 5 minutes, and then we will take a break and come back for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we'll wait on the questions, and then, like you said, we'll break and then come back.
Yeah, I guess there is no question. Then maybe we will take a break and we can come back at 4:40. It's in
Yes.
7 minutes. We'll take a
Sure.
7 minutes break. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah.
see you all
Thank you.
again.
See you all again. Bye.
Thank you.